Afternoon, people. Do you know what is in the milk and dairy products that you're buying in the supermarkets? Probably not, really. You probably just think it's milk or dairy products. But some news came out yesterday that our friend Bill Gates, the Microsoft software entrepreneur who seems totally intent on ingraining himself into the World Health vaccine and food market over and above everything else, is heavily involved in the development of a new product which is basically a cattle food. It's food that's being fed primarily to dairy cows. It's a product called Bovaer or Bovaer. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it, but Bovaer. And this is basically a food that is fed to dairy cows, and it's being fed to them in an effort to reduce their methane gas output. Basically, this food stops cows farting so much. And because Bill Gates and the eco-loonies are absolutely obsessed with the farts of cows and how much pollution that creates and how much carbon it puts into the atmosphere, and how cows farting in England apparently leads to floods and wildfires all over the world, does it? So because of that, they're running a trial with 30 or 40 farms, I think it is, in the UK, big dairy farms that have signed up to this to feed this stuff to their cows in an effort to reduce their cows farting. Now, if that is not insane enough in its own right, just listen, because it gets worse. So this particular Bovaer, whatever it's called, food stuff is not signed off in the EU because it hasn't been fully tested. So essentially this is a trial they're running on these farms. And there are ingredients within this particular food, chemicals within this particular food, that are linked to being carcinogenic. What's carcinogenic? It means it's cancer causing. Now, don't get me wrong, no studies have been completed yet, so I'm not saying by any means, please don't ban me again, Mr. TikTok. I'm not saying these things cause cancer. That is not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is there are chemicals in this product that have been carcinogenic in the past, and this product has not yet been fully tested, but it's being rolled out. And if you're giving it to dairy cows, inevitably the milk that they produce, and therefore the products such as butter and yogurt and cream and everything else that comes from that, as well as the milk, potentially is going to have the offshoots of these products in it. Now, this is being done in conjunction with a massive food production firm called Arla, A-R-L-A, Arla Foods. And they produce a whole range. They produce all of the Cravendale milk you see in supermarkets, quite a number of other brands of milk, Lurpak butter, Anchor butter, various forms of skyr yogurt. Their name is all over a load of products that you will see in your supermarkets. And I think it's Tesco, Morrison's and Lidl, I believe it is. No, it might be Aldi, but have signed up to this. And now, as of this morning, Marks and Spencer's and Waitrose have also admitted that they stock some of these products. So be very, very careful. When you go into supermarkets, when you go in Tesco's, when you go and do your shopping and you're buying your milk, or you're buying your butter, or buying your cream, or your yogurts, have a look on the label and have a look and see whether it's got anything to do with Arla Foods. And if it has, think twice. I'm definitely going to be checking my labels. I looked in my fridge today. We buy proper butter. We don't buy spread because I know butter is better for you than spread. And as it turns out, I've got Anchor butter. Now, I always bought Anchor butter, even though it's more expensive, because as far as I was concerned, it's a good, solid British butter. Now I've got to think again, because it turns out that it's being produced by Arla Foods, and it may well have this semi-carcinogenic product coming from those cows. I don't know. As I say, all of this is up in the air. The news only came out yesterday. But in order to stop cows farting, they're feeding them food that hasn't been fully tested and that we don't really know what's in it, and that may or may not be getting into the food chain. And then we wonder why the population is not as well as it was. We wonder why there's strange illnesses, strange allergies, etc., etc. As I say, I can't prove any of this. There is no link, so please don't ban me. All I'm saying is go and do your research. Look up the product Bovaer or Bovaer. Look up Arla Foods. If you just do a search on Arla Foods, Bill Gates, cows, it will come up. So in an effort to save the world from cow farts, we're poisoning ourselves. Fucking madness.